There it is. Welcome to PubTalkTV, the conference episode. It is a balmy 14 degrees in Indiana and 23 in New York City, but we decided we're tired of winter.
Time for palm trees.
Time for pineapples.
And time for a special tropical conference episode. Tonight we're joined by Ted Fox, author of You Know Who's Awesome, Not You. And we have a special thanks for Jenny Fox for taking care of Mr. Baby so we can borrow Ted and his koozie.
And his koozie.
Which is apparently how you pronounce it.
Yes.
Okay, word.
Thank you for having me, ladies. I'm very, very happy to be here.
Cheers to Ted.
Cheers to Ted. As always, we will be answering your questions, and you can ask more questions on the Ask PubTalkTV hashtag.
We dedicate this episode to Kelsey. We love you. Feel better.
Feel better soon.
Feel better, Kelsey.
Cheers.
What is everyone drinking? I have a ginger ale with nothing in it because I'm sick.
I have real pineapple juice and real tequila and a fake pineapple.
I have a blood margarita that is almost empty, and someone else made it for me. Otherwise, it would not be so fancy.
I have a gin and tonic. Well, I've had too many so far, I think, in a super classy koozie, because that's how we do it in Indiana. We drink our gin and tonics out of koozies, and I would like to point out that with this episode, 40% of the people on this episode are in Indiana.
Yeah,
I think
we
there's
are.
true shift in the publishing industry as we are moving westward to the real metropolitan center.
Go west, young
Right.
Oh my God, it's so rare. Like, Indiana's like making a comeback. That's awesome.
It's like cool now, summer. Not really.
I don't know if I'd go that far, Ted.
I wouldn't either. That's legit.
Really good points for effort on that. By the way, Rosie, did you mean to say blood orange margarita? Because you big fat said blood margarita, and
I did.
blood
Orange margarita.
The blood of writers.
Did I really say blood margarita?
You did. And I'm just like, sweetie, I don't think we want to scare them so early in the show.
I have a
Like,
confession.
let's not lead with the fact that you drink the blood of the people you reject. That's
I
fine.
am a vampire, which is why I don't read vampire YA, because it hits a little too close.
And it's inaccurate.
And it's inaccurate. It's a little too close to home.
That's what was missing. A little bit too much ordinary brunettes and not enough tequila. So,
What?
awesome.
I'll make you more.
Okay.
Just in case anybody was wondering, we started our rehearsal tonight a little bit early since we're bringing Mr. Ted into the fold tonight, and I think everybody might have had one drink extra for rehearsal. So,
Oh.
It's probably true.
it's cool. Totally
That's
fine. Totally fine.
We're introverts.
All right.
Come on.
So tonight we will be discussing conferences and conference-related experiences. We've got some good stories and some scary stories, and we will be taking your conference-related questions and other questions, whatever questions that you've got that you've sent in or that you will be putting in the hashtag. And let's get started with some of these questions.
It's so cold, she
All
feels.
right, Schwartz. Rest of their time at these larger conferences, if they manage to get in somehow, I think this is talking about BEA, is it worthwhile to meet and converse with agents, or is that the wrong place, wrong time situation? Would their time be better suited avoiding these big conferences or possibly focusing on networking with authors?
That's a very good point. I don't consider BEA a conference. I consider it a convention because it's set up differently than a lot of writers' conferences that are specifically designed to have classes for writers, either agent, editor, or both sorts of pitch sessions that have panels that are geared toward either the business of writing or towards the creative process, whereas BEA is about booksellers and about publishers and less about agents and editors and authors. I think it's hard to network at BEA.
Oh, yeah, for us, too. I mean, I feel like you have to do the floor once just to see it, so you can feel like you've been there. You have to fill up your little rolly bag with all the arcs you're never going to read.
Exhibit all.
And then you have to go home with your feet hurting, and you're like, why did I wear those shoes? Why did I go? This was so tiring. I don't remember anybody. It gives you Teflon brain. It's just you feel so overstimulated the whole time. At least I personally do. I think if your goal is to find an agent, BEA is probably not really the place, because I personally, I should not admit this, I pretty much go to the panels and the events afterward, and I like the smaller things where I can actually talk to people versus the things where I'm wandering around on the floor and I'm like, hi, nice to meet you, you're totally not going to remember me, wow, you have a million people to talk to today, ha, totally made an impression, bye.
Yeah, I think it's better to try and network with agents and editors at writers' conferences.
Because then we're focused on you entirely, not on the editors as well.
And the business. Yeah.
Right. At BEA, I'm totally business-minded, and I want to, like, go to the panels and, like, hear about, like, ways I can improve, like, doing what I do. So, like, my mind's not even thinking about, you know, writing as, like, a craft, really, or thinking about acquiring anyone when I'm there. So, yeah, I wouldn't try to pitch any agents at BEA.
No,
it's better because at the other conferences we can kind of relax and just focus on writers.
Yeah.
You know.
I actually know agents who turn their badges around at BEA because they don't want to talk with authors because that's not what they're there for.
That's smart.
But when we go to writers' conferences, that's what we're there for. And so I think you have a higher chance of making good networking decisions if you go to places where people want to meet you.
And where they're not overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That everybody, publishing agents, editors, authors, they're booked to the gills for that entire week. That they've got authors coming in and clients coming in and everything, and so it's not a good time for them to be like, hey, you want to go get coffee?
It's probably the biggest.
They don't have the time to do that.
Yeah, it's probably the busiest week of the year.
Yeah.
And, like, your free time is so precious during BEA week. It's like, no, that hour, it's mine. I don't want to give it to you. I'm sorry.
And people always ask for appointments, like, the day of. And it's like, well, I guess we can be between breakfast and brunch in the panel. Okay.
Or, like, do you want to meet at 7 a.m. or 10 o'clock? Like, not a lot in between.
Watch me have a 6 a.m. morning meeting this year.
No. I'm not walking to Javits Center.
Oh, not at Javits. No, I try to take all my meetings away from Javits. I hate the Javits Center. I hate that place. I hate that place with a passion.
Javits Center is a sentient building sent to suck the lives and humanity out of people.
So it's a lot more fun during Comic-Con, let me just say.
Yeah.
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 I did go to Comic-Con, and it was a hoot, except I got lost.
Oh, yeah, it's easy. It's easy when everyone's dressed as something and you can't see around, like, all the costumes.
Yeah, that wasn't okay. And then I didn't know that cabs couldn't drive away. Like, when they ask where you're going, you're just supposed to get in, and then they have to take you because they're like, "Where are you going?" And then I would tell them, and they were like, "Hell no!" And then they drive away. And like, four cabs did that to me, and then I just like started to cry. And
then tell them you're going to Connecticut. No.
Yep.
It's a bizarre experience to be living in Indiana, and my whole timeline is flooded with tweets about the Javits Center and having no conception of that. That's like that becomes the way I'm living vicariously through Twitter. Is well, everyone's upset they're at the Javits Center. It's very odd to be that far away and read all that.
If the silver like liquid guy from Terminator 2 became a building, that would be the Javits Center.
Interesting.
No, that's my assessment of that. By the way, I would just like to say that 2 individual people, separate of each other, have now asked what Jessica's favorite kind of cheese is. So I think that this is a thing. Like, I'm not kidding. These are things that are coming in tonight.
No,
so.
Legit answer. Why choose just one?
Oh, see? And for the person who asked what my favorite doctor is, that was my response as well. It's like trying to pick your favorite child. So.
Yeah.
Number 2. Number 2 is my favorite child.
I do like the cheese. I do like the cheese that's rolled in volcanic ash, because when it hits your saliva, it kind of fizzes. And also, it's like, a volcano. Yeah.
It's a real thing?
It's a real thing. I know it sounds gross, but it's actually really good. It's kind of like if cheese had a, like, upscale Pop Rocks equivalent, that's what it would be.
What?
That sounds about right.
I'm going to have to send you some so you can see what I mean. I'm not making this up.
Trader Joe's has a new chocolate bar that has chili and Pop Rocks in it.
I saw that today.
And I'm a little bit like, I don't know. I can get down with the chili chocolate, but I can't get down with Pop Rocks in my chocolate.
I was trying to explain.
I was listening at
Yeah.
volcano cheese. That sounds like something my 4-year-old would have asked me for dinner. Mommy, I want volcano cheese for dinner. Okay.
Great,
Did
put the cheese inside your rice. It'll explode.
Did any of you growing up ever have the guts to do the Pop Rocks mixed with the soda thing? That was
No.
like
No.
legend. Like
I don't
that would,
Absolutely not.
But I
that would
watched
like
that so
explode
much.
your head if that happened. That terrified me. I'd never
No,
touched it.
God. Like, legit, that's what they said killed the guy from the live cereal, Mikey, or whatever his name is.
What?
Isn't that,
Mikey,
that
he
was the
likes
urban
it.
legend. Like, Mikey, he likes it, died because he drank Pepsi and Pop Rocks. Like, I know that that's not true, and I think that guy is actually alive,
real fast.
but that was the rumor going around the playground, okay?
No, I think someone did do the Pepsi and Mentos.
Oh yeah, that's not supposed to
Oh,
be.
God, no.
Yeah, and like
Oh,
it
you've done that. Somebody seems like
exploded.
you've done that.
We are giving you guys such valuable conference information right now. Like,
True.
we covered volcano cheese and absolutely untrue urban legends.
Extracurricular activities like Mentos, soda.
I think we do have a good follow up from Twitter because it almost seems like kind of the opposite of what you're talking about with BEA, and this is from Roseanne Foster, and she was wondering, is a conference for a specific genre like Thriller Fest for mystery writers, is that a better place to go to learn, or do you think maybe with outside of something like BEA set aside, are all conferences equally useful?
I think there are definitely better and others. I really loved Thriller Fest so much. I thought it was so much fun.
I think they're both really good. I
Yeah.
think, I also am a big encourager of people to read outside their genre, study outside their genre, because that's one way that it won't feel like a genre piece, like you're not recycling the same cliches. So going to general writers like by geography rather than by genre.
Yeah, but if you're writing like romance or thriller, I think it can be
But
useful.
yeah, RWA is a great resource. SVCWI is a great resource for all children's lit, 0 to 18.
And for cheese hats.
Cheese
I'm going to
hats?
SCBWI Wisconsin, and I'm coming up with a cheese hat.
We just bring it back around to cheese. Like, there's a theme here. Now I know why multiple people are asking which favorite kind of cheese.
Oh,
is.
yeah, she
Like,
loves
it's all making
cheese.
At the end of the day, you just need something
Yes, she
nice
should.
like cheese.
She and I have gone to networking events, and we haven't left early, but we've definitely not lingered because the cheese was inferior.
Actually, that's how I describe events to Sarah Jane now. She always asks how the cheese was.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
You think we're kidding, but we're actually not.
No, I completely believe you. I legit believe you. Cheese is important.
Cheese is very important.
Very important.
What are some of your guys' experience with conferences? Do you guys go to a lot of conferences? Do you guys, tell me about your conference style as far as going to them. How many do you do?
I sure messed up last year. I somehow booked 5 in 7 weeks.
I remember that.
Oh my god.
It was terrible. It was so terrible. For some reason in my head, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be invited to too many conferences. Oh, yeah, that weekend's free. I'll say yes.
It's because you look at the weekend and you're
look
like,
at the weekend and you're like,
that
sure.
weekend I'm free. Yeah.
Always say yes. New experience, meet new. Oh, gosh. It was
And then you look at
terrible.
the month and you're like, oh, crap.
And then I got sick at the first one. No, I was like, I can see how this is going to go. People were coming up giving me medication recommendations. It was
Yeah.
bad.
I have gotten the flu at a conference. I threw my back out at a conference, which was really sucky because I really wanted to be there. And I couldn't go to any of the panels I wanted to. I have been followed into the bathroom multiple times. I have been not yelled at, but forcibly spoken at several of the classes that I was teaching, especially at my first conference.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was really traumatizing.
Oh.
But now, it's like, sit down.
I got this.
But then I was like, I'm new to publishing. Everyone likes me, right?
Sorry.
But I had no idea that people didn't think I had the best intentions, or why would they be sick of agents? We just offer opportunity. You know?
Oh, you sweet summer child.
Yeah, it was a very rude but important awakening. But there are also conferences that I've really loved. Midwest Writers.
Yeah, Midwest Writer.
Yeah.
I really loved Antioch Writers Workshop. I loved PNWA. I'm going back this year. There are some conferences I'd really like to be invited to. Wink, wink.
We'll send them that clip.
Yeah. So
Make that into a gift. And then you can email
So
it to
feel
them.
free to email me if you want. But yeah, I think it's a really valuable tool for us to meet editors and to meet writers. I mean, I always go back to the story of Joanna Volpe meeting Veronica Roth at Midwest Writers.
It happened.
It happens.
Yeah,
You know?
Good.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about how awesome
Pop my Leia.
So I don't remember what the original question was, but I've only been to like a handful of conferences because I'm a baby agent. But they've all been like really similar, but like really different. So like there were, some things that were like the same at every conference. Like, oh, okay. And then there were things that were like really nice and surprising. I realized that I tend to like the focused conferences. So like ones that are specifically not necessarily a certain genre, but like maybe of like, so I'm talking about like, so BinderCon, for example, which I didn't initially think was a writers conference, but it actually really is, because I did I did pitches there, and then there was a lot of writing panels and everything, and I found that, everyone having that vibe of like, women, was like really like, oh, okay, so we get each other on that level, let me take a look at your work. So that was helpful. But so I was at this one conference, and it was like the keynote speaker, blah, 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 and I was like sitting there like, okay, I'm dying for lunch. And then like as we're leaving, I'm like trying to hustle out, and this like woman comes up and she's like, hi, I just love your hair, and I wanted to give you this picture that I drew of you. So she had like been drawing a picture of me the whole time during the like talk. So that was kind of strange, but like also sweet, and it was like a good picture. So I was just like, this is such a good sum up of like what a conference is like. Like you want to be nice, but it's like this is a little creepy.
A little weird.
But I think that was a good example.
Of me.
Yeah.
But it is really disconcerting when they're like, oh, you're Roseanne Wells, you're at the Jennifer, and I'm like, yes, but who are you? I don't know who you are. And they're like, they've been studying my face for like 3 months, or,
It is weird when they recognize you, because
Yeah.
they always put your picture in the program. Well, it's sometimes, they always recognize you when you don't want them to recognize you, right?
when you're like sweaty, coming in from the airport,
or
at the pool.
when you think you're a day early ahead of everyone else, so you're in the pool and you're like la la la, swimming back and forth, and then some people jump in, oh whatever, just random people at the hotel, and then they say the word query, and then they look over at you, and you're like, hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, everything's great. I'm gonna get my towel.
Yeah, that's not much. Actually, oh god, no, this is such a good segue for this. I have a story. This is my favorite story. I have a story from Brooks Sherman, lit agent Brooks Sherman, and this was what I assume was his worst conference experience. And this is please don't ever do this to somebody. Don't. Somebody was trying to get into his favor for writerly thingies by seducing him at the conference.
That's
And they licked him.
my go-to move. You gotta have that one in your arsenal. That's standard fare.
Naturally.
The guy licked his ear. The
Yeah.
guy legitimately licked Brooks' ear.
What did he do?
Don't do that.
Call security.
I don't know what he did other than that. Other than Brooks is just like, please don't lick my ear at conferences.
Step one of going to conferences: don't lick people's ears.
Or anything.
Don't lick anybody's ear. Maybe don't try to seduce the agents in general.
No.
And maybe don't lick their ears when it's going poorly.
I think a good general rule, if you have a contagious disease and you wouldn't do it, don't do it. So, keep that barrier. Keep that barrier.
Totally.
You better be close enough to someone to be able to lick them, though, at a conference. Like,
I
what's up? Why are you that
No.
bubble?
nice guy, and I feel
That's
like
when
he's
you shut it
incredibly
down.
patient with people, but I don't freaking know. Like, I don't even know how somebody gets to, like, I'm gonna lick your ear. Like, I don't know how it goes from
there's
like, let me lick your ear.
There's definitely a Seinfeld episode in that. That is George Costanza asking, "Was it wrong to have sex with a cleaning woman on my desk?" Was that wrong that I did that? Should I not have licked your ear? Like, that's the level that's at. Because we all assume as human beings in the world that that's obvious, but clearly there are some people that is not obvious for.
The next
I
thing you
will
know,
get
you have to buy a cashmere sweater. The next thing you know.
Exactly. Oh, that is a good reference, Monica, because that is an old episode. So I am forever.
I will get back to questions in just a second, but
I appreciate your reference.
Wanted me to tell a good conference story to tip off like the bad conference story, because he's had really good experiences at conferences too, and he's going to have a great experience this year at Midwest Writers. Registration open now, yay! But when he was at a
I
conference,
do feel like we should be sponsored by Midwest Writers.
You absolutely should, and I'm still like determined to get you all there next year so we can do this live. Like,
totally.
it'd be super cool.
Yeah.
But Brooks actually had somebody come up to him at a conference. I want to say this was last year, but you'll have to forgive me in my glitchy brain right now. And she pitched to him in person, and she actually didn't do great. She had to start over. She was very awkward. It was pretty uncomfortable. And so he asked her, to send him some stuff. But it wasn't a great in-person pitch. But he liked what he heard. Like he liked what was happening, even though it wasn't a good pitch and what was happening. And anyway, long story short to this, when he finally did read the query and everything, it was super good, and he ended up signing her on a Monday and sold her book at auction for many figures on Thursday.
Okay.
So that happened from a conference. So
isn't that the dream?
Anyway, that is the dream. So to go from ear licking to big sale. Very good things. But anyway, that was Becky Albertalli. Albertalli? I can't pronounce her last name at the moment. But anyway, her book, Simon versus the Homo Sapien Agenda, comes out this year.
Woohoo!
Well, that's
all right, Ted, you have a question?
Well, just in terms of in-person pitching, it's completely different, because oftentimes I have no idea if the person who can speak well can write well and the person who can not speak well can write well. I'm often just kind of like, hi, you're not a serial killer, nice to meet you, send me your stuff. So...
I'll either request someone to query me with extra pages because we met in person, or I'll request a manuscript. If it's not in my genre, like if it's a thriller, and I don't do thrillers, then
why they're so fun.
I do mystery. I like mysteries, and part of the reason I don't do thrillers is because I really love watching Jason Bourne, Mission Impossible, but I really don't like reading that kind of stuff.
I'm the opposite.
Actually, along with what you're saying, Andrea Klein from Twitter asks, I've heard conflicting feelings on the value of pitch sessions from multiple agents. What are your thoughts?
My first thought is 10 minutes is too long.
God.
Yes.
The longest I've ever heard a pitch session going is half an hour.
Oh. Seriously?
Yeah.
For one person.
I've had dates that have gone shorter than that, I think.
I bet you have.
My long-suffering wife in the other room could probably, I'm sure that would not surprise her to hear that. She would not be surprised to hear that at all.
I think the ideal pitch session is 3 to 5 minutes long. If it's 7 minutes, it's okay. 10 minutes, if it's not the right thing for you, then you have nothing to talk about for 9.5 minutes.
And it's super awkward.
Well,
at that point, I usually am like, do you have your query letter with you? And usually they're like, no, the conference told me not to. And I'm like, that's too bad. But if they do have it, I'll get out a pen and I'll start editing it for them, because I might as well be useful with that time. And again, sometimes it's completely different on paper than what they described. So I personally like the query critique session in person versus the pitch session in person because if I like it, I'm going to ask for it. Otherwise, why put that question on the table at all? You know, it's kind of implied.
I think you're right that a critique session can often be more valuable than just a pitch session.
Then you walk away with something you can use with other people versus like, oh, that person doesn't like it, and I just spent 10
and
minutes
they're a horrible human being,
$50.
and they're probably drunk at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I mean, I never drink during the day.
They always cut off
totally
caffeine at like 11. Why do they do that? Why do they expect us to meet so many people and there's no caffeine?
And you have to wait until like 4 o'clock.
No, I seriously start hoarding like Diet Pepsi. I'm not even kidding. I just like grab all the cans, put them in my bag. They get warm, but I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. Oh, okay, now I can remember you. All right, good. I'm not even kidding. Every 3 minutes, what else am I supposed to do? I get exhausted. Introvert problems. Okay.
Yeah.
I agree that I think queer critiques are more valuable, and it's also, you know, if like I don't do thrillers and you're presenting to me as a thriller, like right away, oh, I'm wasting your time, you're wasting my time. But if I'm automatically like doing a query critique for you, it's like I know I can be of value to you in some way, and that makes me feel better too because you know I don't like having someone sit down across from me and being like, no, I'm sorry, this just isn't for me based on, you know, totally outside factors. So I prefer the query critique, and I think
absolutely. Or like if someone, are you
go for it.
I was just gonna write that their thing is a mystery, and then we talk, and it's actually a thriller. Then that's also a dead conversation because like. I'm really glad you thought of me, but actually this is not right. And
you're going to send it over to my friend Jess.
Now we have nothing to talk about until you go over to my friend Jess.
Yeah. We're going to talk about weaponry.
I love weaponry. I'm not bagging on weaponry. I'm just saying I don't usually like ticking clock, like super, you know. But I love spy stuff and I love cons. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a difficult nut to crack.
I agree. Been in the Nutcracker?
About myself.
I've never been in it.
Okay.
My ballet school did a different show. Its own
Rosie
show. Yeah.
We're asking the hard-hitting questions tonight, folks.
We have a question from Tara or Tara. I apologize. I don't know which way to pronounce it, but she's attending her first conference, and this is such a I can identify with this. This is a writerly thing to worry about. She's read conflicting advice about business cards. She's read they are not needed and you should never hand them out. And she's also read that in some cases, an agent or editor asks for them, what's the deal? And if needed, what do I actually put on the business card?
I mean, I just
Your
lose
name.
them if people give them to me, so I don't ask for them.
Yeah, I don't take any materials from conference. Whether it's your pages, whether it's your business card, whether it's your resume and headshot.
Headshot?
Nothing.
That happen a lot, really.
Are you a modeling agent as well? Getting headshots?
I've never gotten a headshot, but I've definitely gotten like a resume, a query letter, and the first like a lot of pages. And so my policy is I don't take anything from conference. It's environmentally friendly. You just email it to me if I've requested it. If not, I'm not going to take it anyway.
It's in the email. Kind of like if you meet someone at a conference you want to be friends with or critique partners with, you send them an email in 48 hours, you mention something you talked about, you send them a link to the thing you talked about, you generally are helpful and nice, and then you're in the system.
Yeah.
You know, once you're
send
in
them a
somebody's
cat
email,
video and you're in.
It better be a good cat video.
It better be a good cat video.
Is there such a thing as a bad cat video? I mean, honestly.
Probably. The cats are like off in the distance and you can't see it. But like,
it really has to be center stage cat video. Oh my god! Can someone please make a version of center stage with cats?
Yeah! Somebody please make that happen. Oh my god.
Please make that.
Oh my god, that's this episode's Query Squirrel.
Center stage cats.
But yeah, in terms of all of the stuff that you're not supposed to bring, I always really appreciate it when people have a copy of the query. So I think you might as well have it. Just don't try to give it to people unless they ask.
Yeah, and I think a copy of a query is different than business cards because business cards You have to like go and get printed and like
Spend money
and
on.
yeah,
I don't know, your name and your email and maybe the title of your book if you're feeling
yeah.
fancy.
Monica, what do
know.
you think?
I don't.
Do you keep
Is the
business?
palm tree attacking you?
No, I throw out the business cards. I do. And, like, the thing is, you can't, like, the likelihood is that they don't look great either.
Yeah,
that's what I've realized, is they're not the greatest looking cards, and so they don't really speak. They're not really doing you that much of a service, and I totally agree. Like, email is where you need to be because that's where I'm going to reach you. So, yeah, get in the system and somehow, like, the good thing to do, the thing to try to do is to get my card, and then you can email me, and yeah, then I'll know who you
But
are.
that's online too.
You what?
Yeah, and like at the
It's
end of the
online.
conference, I have like a bag of like, yeah, right, it's online, exactly. And at the end of the conference, I have like a bag of stuff. So that's such a good idea, Rosie, that you don't bring anything.
Yeah.
But and I always like I go through it at the end, and I'm like, oh, I'm throwing so much of this away. I'm so sorry. I know you guys like did this for me, but I can't do anything with this stuff.
Yeah.
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 So I would say business cards unnecessary, but be prepared to jot down people that you would want to email in the future.
Or if an agent asks for your contact information, you can say, oh, I don't have a card on me. Not, I didn't make,
existence.
yeah. Like, oh, I ran out of them because I'm so popular and awesome. Can I just write it in your notebook? Or can I give it to you now and then you can, there's
But in terms of making
ways.
contacts, I personally overuse the Notes app in my phone. Whenever I meet somebody, I will take a moment to just be like, okay, nice to meet you, etc. Turn around, write down what I remember of that person and their full name and their contact information, and then it's all searchable, it's all in there, and then when I send my follow-up emails, it's right there.
Yeah. She's
I
pretty
will say
genius.
from a writer perspective too, for the first book, I created a business card to use with that to give to people, and I probably have 98% of the ones that I bought still in the box, which they look very cool and they're fun to have. And every now and then someone's like, "Oh, you wrote a book," and I'll be like, "Yeah, here you can, you can buy it, please." But I've never really found a whole lot of use for them. I've never been out anywhere where it's like, oh my gosh, you don't have a card, you're not a real author kind of thing. So
Yeah.
just even from the perspective of having a book out there, it's the same kind of thing where it's like, yeah, it might look kind of cool, but it's never really done a whole lot for me.
And an author friend of mine, Katrina Kittle, she's awesome. You guys should all find her on Twitter and on the internet. What she does is she has several books out, and so she carries postcards of her books with. Oh, I have her.
Cover on each side.
Yeah, I have her book somewhere.
We're knocking over the desk.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Over now. We're getting ready.
Yeah.
While we're doing
So, like,
this, look
she
at our
has
dead
a-
palm tree. That's how well.
Yeah, our sad
That's how
dead
good we
palm
are,
tree.
Yeah, pull out that one.
So, like, she has a picture of the cover of her book so that if they go to the bookstore, they can find it. And she carries those. But that's like a postcard. That's not... And it's not... It's advertisement, but it's not for her. It's for her book. And so it's publicizing her book and not her contact information, if that makes sense. But that's also, like, once you have a book.
Oh, I'd also like to interject. You're probably going to find your critique partner at a conference. So, keep people's information, write down details about them. And if I could propose a conference activity, I really think conferences should start having critique partner speed dating because it is helpful for everyone to meet a critique partner who is compatible. And it's helpful for us because then we don't have to do 100% of your editing, and it's fantastic.
Yay! I love that. I mean, I love editing.
They do have something like that at Midwest Writers. It's called Find Your Tribe, and they actually break off by genres and stuff and try to set people up with finding critique partners.
Another reason why PubTalkTV, sponsored by Midwest
Writers.
Writers, is awesome.
Awesome stuff.
Anyway.
Awesome sauce. Oh,
Somebody asked, I actually really like this question because I had relevance with it back in the day. An agent said she didn't rep horror. Then she saw my MG horror pitch and asked for it. Have you ever asked for something you don't rep?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
I feel like what I rep is always evolving. Like if you, and also I represent more like, not general stuff, but I like the whole literary fiction with a commercial bend thing, and sometimes it's like that is like a crossover from like another genre or something, or something that's like straddling a genre but like straddling like the mainstream realm. So it would get me to read
another genre, totally.
Yeah. So it would get me to like, you know, because in my head I'm probably still not thinking of it as a horror. I'm thinking about it as like, oh, this is like that, and it has horror in it, you know.
Yeah.
I think great voice trumps all.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. The author of The Art Forger, B.A. Shapiro, I saw her speak, and she said, you know, that her book was really hard to sell because it didn't fit into a genre. And so when Algonquin picked it up, and she said, you know, like, I didn't know you did crime novels. And they said, we publish great books.
Ooh.
And so in some respect, genre or category is sort of fluid. And what I want are great projects that will become great books.
Also, don't assume that you know what someone wants or doesn't want. I mean, there was this one time at a conference, it was one of those every 3 minutes, and the people are like lining up behind you. It was giant. And I asked for something, and I won't repeat exactly what she said, but she, with cursing, said, well, you don't have to lie to me and say all of this. I know you don't actually want it. And why are you saying yes? You're wasting my time. And actually, it sounded good to me. So just don't assume that you know what we want. You're not in our heads. We don't even know what we want sometimes.
And please, please, if you actually get a request from an agent,
Say thank you.
please say thank you.
Oh, come
And
on.
please send it. Please send it.
Oh, yeah, I wonder about that sometimes. I request something and I never get it. And I'm like, what did I do wrong?
Like, yeah, I'm like, did it never exist? Is
Did
it
someone
like
else take it already in the
yeah.
last hour?
And especially if it's one that I think of and remember, I'm like, damn it, why didn't I get that? Where is it?
Like,
I
I'm
think
still wondering about a manuscript. And I'm
I,
like, yeah.
I think this goes into the normal functioning of human beings mode of my wife works at a university and we talk about students understanding as 18-year-olds how to correspond via email. So if someone asks you for something, you're polite about it and you send it and you follow up in a reasonable manner and you're not like cuckoo about following up about it. It's like recognizing there's a lot of demands on their time to just like use good common sense of how you would interact with anyone else in the world. If you say you're going to send them something, send it, and then recognize that they're probably a little busy and not be crazy about following up with them every 6 hours for the next week.
Ooh. Take us
So
at our word,
no
too,
reminder
please.
squirrels or nudging pigeons, is what you're saying.
No
Exactly.
nudging pigeons.
Exactly.
Actually, about that, and I'm just gonna, because it was about the question. My first year at Midwest Writers, there was only one agent there that repped women's fiction, and the other 3 did not, even in the slightest. And all 4 agents that were there ended up requesting for me, and I ended up signing with an agent who did not rep women's fiction because she liked the book. So
Also, because she's
you're
awesome. You're awesome,
Yes.
and she's awesome.
Well, and I think a conference is like, that's part of what you're paying for is it's a, you know, so in Aquarium Box, I'm just seeing random text like on a screen, but here's an opportunity for you to sell yourself as a writer. And if you're going to a writer's conference, like you are a writer, like you are approaching this as like a, you know, a serious thing. And I think that's a part of why I do take writers who are at writers conferences seriously, because they're doing this, they're showing up, they're doing, you know, they're doing the extra mile.
Yeah.
Well, but also present yourself as a human being. Like, have a little small talk ready. Appeal to me as a person on an emotional level because you're right there. You know, you're like a foot away, and I want to not think you're going to kill me. I want to think you're a nice person. I want to think that, you know, maybe you do have a braid coming straight out of your head, but that was a conscious choice to go with your book. You know, all of these things, you know, like, yes, not scaring us is very good. But I think it's also just when you're sitting with somebody, you want to appeal on a human level because we're going to read your work anyway if we request it. The face-to-face thing, you're just, you know, again, human to human versus eyeballs to screen.
Yeah, and I really get that it's very nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah.
You've written a lot of words about these characters, about what happens to them, and you care a lot. And we just want you to know that we want to care as much as you. So please let us in And
That's a great quote.
So you guys are not the big scary agents looking to
No.
smack down all this pitiful little writers coming to pitch to you. You guys get how important this is to them. I think that's important for people to understand.
Absolutely.
Of course. Why would we do this if it wasn't important?
Well, I think that a lot of times, and I do, sorry I keep bringing up Midwest Writers, but that's what I do at Midwest Writers is I help practice people with their live pitches before they go into the agents, and I help them, smooth out their pitches, and just because it's so scary to go pitch to somebody you don't know, so I help them practice so they're not quite as nervous. And they're genuinely terrified. Like, they think that they're going to go in there and these agents are going to, like, punch them directly in the face. And I keep having to remind them, like...
People have been, like, shaking in front of me. And I'm like, I'm under 5 foot. And I'm wearing a pencil skirt. Like, I'm not that scary.
No, I understand. Well, I mean, okay, I have met so many people at so many different conferences. I can't even tell you how many different agents and editors and situations I've been in. I have heard of one person who made someone cry at the pitch session. One of all of them, and he was reprimanded. So,
oh my God.
It's okay. Now, it's okay. No, you're all going to take that as like the one thing that you're going to be afraid of. Don't be afraid. He's changed.
No, like I have heard of several, just, in my experience, of writers making the agents cry or writers having to be removed from the room because they've gotten very aggressive.
Yeah. Oh, there was one that was scary enough that I asked for security. Yes, but like, that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
And we keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're not evil. They're not there to hurt you. They're nice people.
No.
Well, there are witnesses. I mean.
Would you say, kind of acknowledging that categories and genres that you represent, that's a fluid, in some senses, kind of thing, if someone is approaching you that's maybe in a genre or something you haven't represented as much or at all, is it more important that they explain to you or express to you why they've decided to query you or pitch you in person?
I think so.
I think that'd be really nice. Like, I follow you on Twitter, or I found this interview that, also, I know that Jessica and myself, and probably Monica and other agents as well, we put ourselves out there doing interviews on Twitter so that we can find you. And we go to conferences so that we can find talent. And so if you explain, I have this thriller that, it might not be your jam, but I really like you on Twitter and I just wanted to come talk to you, I'll be like, cool, awesome. What do you think about the Olsen twins,
That is the most specific freaking thing. What the hell?
I was trying to think of something pop culture, and I instantly reverted back to the
Olsen
90s.
twins popped into your head.
I watched Full House. It's fine.
I loved Full House.
Yeah, me too.
The Olsen twins are always relevant.
Her little bush is like, I love Full House.
I think the main thing, though, is that if you come to me with something that I don't traditionally represent, I don't want to think you're only coming to me because I'm an agent and I'm your last choice and I'm the only one who had a free time slot.
Yeah,
basically,
exactly.
I want to feel like you want to talk to me and you know who I am. That's it. And then you're good. Oh, and you're not scary. And then we're good.
And not terrifying, yeah.
Yeah, not terrifying is good.
Yeah.
I'm really the only one who's going to stand there? Really? That was, like, open for that. Okay, fine.
She was singing the I want you.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we do. We want that.
God, thank you.
Yeah.
10 Things I Hate About You. Hello.
Great movie.
Stop, I don't want to talk about Heath Ledger. It
Great
makes me
movie.
sad.
Oh,
Heath
no.
Ledger.
So anyway, questions. There was another one. I lost it. Oh, what makes a pitch stand out in a good way at a conference, and what is the best pitch you've heard at a conference?
Ooh.
Hmm.
I hate to say it, but they all
I
kind
think
of blur together.
Yeah.
But that's okay because they would stand out if they were bad.
Have you
Yeah.
signed anybody from a conference?
Yes.
See, then that means you heard a good pitch.
I did, actually. It was at Backspace, and I had just come off a panel, and I think the panel ended at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was, like, not caffeinated enough. And I was like, blah. And she was like, hi, I'm Kate Collins, and I really want to, and I was like, okay, yeah. She had this great energy about her, and I was really into what she was doing, and I was like, definitely send me more. You know, she had, that's what I remember about the pitch, not specifically the words, but she had a really great energy about her. And she really seemed excited to be at the conference and to be excited to be meeting me. Whether, you know, it was an act or not, I don't know, but she is a very genuine, energetic person, so I think it was
That
real.
helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think energy and like enthusiasm is really important, and I know it's hard to do those things when you're like shaking like a leaf or like afraid.
Don't be so nervous that you throw up on yourself.
Ooh. No, don't leave with the vomit.
No. No. I'm just like, you know,
But see,
don't
I
be
had to
nervous
ask, 'cause
and be
you never
perfect
know.
and yeah. Like do all these impossible things and be super energetic and friendly and awesome.
But relax.
But
And we'll
relax.
try to do the same.
Exactly. Exactly.
No pressure.
Actually, I signed 2 clients from Backspace.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys are there to find talent. You guys are there to hear pitches. You guys are there to look for writers, right? I mean, that's like the whole point.
Yeah. And we're taking our weekends, our weeks,
Yeah, seriously.
and doing that because we believe in new talent. There are agents who don't go to conferences
It's a lot
because
of work. It's
they
a huge amount of work.
because they
It's
don't
so much travel. It's so much time and so much energy. It's being on for like 3 days solid. Yeah, I mean, we do it because we're hoping.
Yeah. We want to
Mhm.
find that project.
So
You mean
guys,
you wouldn't just travel to Indiana in the middle of the summer just because? Pretty spectacular place. I don't
I had
know.
so
I would do it to
corn.
be summer.
I really like the fried pickles and the donuts.
It's true.
Oh my god, we doing the best fried pickles.
Our
And the
state
vegetables.
fair has fried candy bars, so you know.
Oh, I like that.
Dude,
I've
our
never
state
had
fair
that.
literally
I really
has fried butter.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's true.
Fried butter?
Yeah.
we have fried butter.
And fried Coca-Cola.
I've
Oh my
heard
God.
fried beer on a stick.
Fried beer, too.
Yeah.
The fuck?
PG-13.
PG-13.
Sorry, I saved it. It counts.
It counted and it was awesome.
So if we were all going to design a conference at $1
Nailed
billion,
it.
what would we make? What kind of conference would we have
I want a margarita bar.
at your conference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
want
definitely
a
food
and drink.
I want a
Yes,
room that
you
has
do.
freaking
The standard
hammocks.
for
Does
food and
anybody
drink
else think
be
there needs to
higher.
be a nap time at conferences?
Nap times are good.
There needs to be
And
a room with
no
hammocks.
No early
That's a real
start.
thing.
Why do things start at 7 in the morning? Come on.
I agree with Monica that there should be an amazing food budget.
Yes. Within the
Because
main
like,
house
I'm
kitchen.
dying. I'm dying, and
A
then
lot
just
of
get
that
like
food is real crappy. Like it's it's like mediocre catering food. And you're just
Or cafeteria food,
Ugh.
which is an oxymoron.
Oh my god. Oh, can I tell you guys the best story though? Oh, and I cannot remember who this was. I want to say it was John Cusick. They had a taco bar at Midwest Writers, and he made these little tacos, and it was the cutest thing ever, except at the end of the bar, there were these little squeezy bottles that he thought had sauces in them, and so he put them on his tacos, and he sat down, and he made this horrible face, but he just kept eating. And that's when I realized that he'd taken the sauces that were supposed to go on the churros, and he'd put in strawberry sauce and caramel sauce on his tacos. And I was like, sweetie, you don't have to eat those. And he didn't want to throw the food away and be rude.
Like a
And he sat
champion.
there and he ate the whole plate, and it was so not okay, but it was really cute.
That's
But like
gross.
every agent who was there had done that, and every single one of them was too polite to tell people that they'd done it. So.
oh my god.
I actually did. A woman was trying to pitch me when I was on the buffet line, and I was like, "Look, I'm in the buffet line.
Things gotta happen right now.
I really got to take care of this before you come talk to me. I really got to eat this fried chicken before I come talk to you.
We're much nicer if we've eaten.
It's true. And we're well caffeinated and well
we've
fed.
eaten.
Yeah.
So yes, all conferences, please don't start before 7. Please give us caffeine.
Before 7?
Yeah. Please
Oh.
give us caffeine if, it's after breakfast because we still need it.
Yeah.
Let's have some food that is not tacos with sweet stuff on it. And let's please have a manor house for everybody because it looks like a book and we're all writing books.
That would be
so it's
awesome.
Perfect. Yes, $1 billion for everyone.
Yeah. $1 for everyone.
I like this idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
We had another Twitter question from Tara Luby. If I have a supplemental marketing plan for a work of fiction, is that something an agent would want to see, or would that be something you would wait until after an offer of representation?
I wouldn't say wait until after the offer, but it shouldn't be part of your pitch.
If it's absolutely extraordinary, maybe tell us in a line or two when you send your book. Maybe.
Yeah.
But if it's fiction, that's not. I mean,
Fiction,
yeah, if you're
you're
like
not gonna
best
sell
friends with
fiction.
Oprah, you know.
Mm.
Yeah. But like other than that, I don't know.
Yeah. Fiction, a marketing plan is helpful, but not as critical as with nonfiction.
Definitely.
Yeah, if it's a nonfiction project, it'd be great to hear some marketing stuff right away. That's gonna, might be a tipping point. Like if you already have something in the bag or whatever, or big plans, it's always nice. But for fiction, like maybe if you have, I don't know, like a literary publication thing happening. But
yeah. I mean, if you have like 50,000 Twitter followers, you should tell me
That you didn't
regardless that you did not buy.
That you did not. Yes, that you did not buy.
Yeah.
That is the key.
Whether you're writing fiction or nonfiction, you should tell me regardless. But
Can I just, oh yeah, you can. Oh, I can send you the New York Times link, Summer. There's a whole industry, and the one that really gets me is the people who are like following 45,000 people and have 47,000. It's like, what the hell is that? Like, no one looks at that and thinks like, oh wow, this person is really out there. He really no. He just
Wait, you buy Twitter followers?
Oh yeah. Yes.
So, like that's
any
a thing that
social
happens.
media, like you can buy likes, you can buy Twitter followers, you can buy
You can
pinners on
that
Instagram,
whole
on
company
Pinterest.
that's like you should get it before you do
serious? That's a
anything. You can pay a boy to like all of your posts. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
It's the same thing with Amazon critiques. You can pay people to go and review your book on Amazon.
But we can usually tell, so don't do it.
Yeah.
In real life, that's a thing that happens.
The way I learned about it was this New York Times story of a comedian who said he didn't feel that his Twitter following mirrored his stature in the comedy community, so he needed to buy 250,000 followers. It's like, no, I think it mirrored your stature just fine. Like, I think you were good. I think you were good before.
I think that might be a more accurate reflection, but maybe not what you wanted it to be. That's
Oh my God.
That's fair.
Exactly.
Actually, I
want to feel important.
Yes, but I feel important when I have a glass of wine and some chocolate-covered strawberries, which, by the way, I have in the fridge for you.
Ooh, Rosie's been feeding me. She made some great lasagna today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this just took a very interesting turn, really, ladies. Tell me more.
But I actually had a query where someone said, I have like 100,000 paid followers, and I was like,
I
don't even know what to do with that. Yeah, like
who cares? Oh, you can buy things.
It's so sad that like paid followers have like no value. It's like you paid for like negative.
They're not gonna buy your book.
You paid for accounts.
Unless
You paid for numbers.
You
You did not pay for someone to buy your book. Exactly, Monica.
Yeah, those aren't quality.
This makes me feel so squinky. That's a thing that does. It makes me want to like hug everybody who has followed me on Twitter. I love you.
Yes.
And thank you for letting me.
Twitter
in
hugs
my
for
followers.
everyone.
Yeah,
It's so weird.
It
Okay, somebody has a really good question here. Do you want links to author websites / Twitter included as a signature when queried just to see their social media presence?
Yeah, just for easy reference.
Have. Yeah.
I'm probably not going to click on it, but for easy reference. If I like you, I'll probably follow you right away and see who else is following you.
Because the agenty, stocky stuff is pretty serious once
Oh,
you guys
that
know that
happens.
you're
It
interested.
totally happens. We just try to keep it on the DL because it's not cool.
That's not cool. The day I found out that I was being agent stalked, but like because a bunch of agents had signed up on my blog under like fake names and stuff, was like the best day of my life.
How did you know?
Why wouldn't you want people to know that?
Like agenty McAgent?
No, it was when we started setting up the phone calls, and one of them told me.
Right.
And he said that they'd been talking to the other agents, that they'd been doing it too, and then they started like, oh, I read your blog post, and I'm like, I really wish I'd known that I wouldn't have been posting that shit.
But it might have made you self-conscious. We want the real
And
you.
it did, and I immediately went home and started editing the crap out of my blog posts. I had
Aw.
regrets.
We
Hashtag regrets.
Massive, massive, massive regrets.
No.
No, but that's
It was-
definitely
We
who
like you
Summer
'cause you're
is.
real.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
it's refreshing. So many people are like, I am a writer. I have sent out
Oh,
stories.
no.
Everything is
This
going
was a
bad.
very, very specific instance where I'd said one specific thing that I never thought anybody in a million years would ever see about notes that I had gotten that I was really excited about. And this one agent was like, oh my God, I haven't sent her notes yet. She must love that other agent more than she loves me because I haven't sent her notes yet. And I never thought that anybody ever was reading my blog. And so I ran over.
Yeah.
No,
I-
that definitely
That
is
happens.
like,
Yeah, that happens.
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
found
she
it.
asked for an R&R, so she must be higher up on her list.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
whenever I see somebody like talking about another agent on their blog, that's so awesome, and I'm like, wait, but I like your book, but
I'm
okay.
awesome too.
Maybe I don't like your book because you don't like me back.
Oh.
Seriously, it was, and I wrote a blog about this of like learn from your anti-fizzy guys because Summer done made a mistake, so I felt really bad because I actually loved that agent tremendously, and it had just been this little thing of like, yay, this is what's happening, and I was really excited to get these notes, and
Yeah.
I didn't know it was like a declaration of.
It's a declaration of intent.
Oh, you guys, I have to announce the winners for the retweeting contest.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yay.
So, Kelsey is not well, so if she is not doing her tweet, I'll do it. Yeah, or the Twitter pitch thing. So,
I can take it if you don't want to, but yeah.
oh, but I do want to.
Okay, that's totally fine.
So, winner number 1 for Summer is Rebecca Olson. Winner number 2 for Kelsey or me is April Rose. Winner number 3 for Monica is KM Farrell. Winner number 4 for me is Tracy M. Cox. And winner number 5 for Rosie is Allison Downs.
Allison!
I was totally going to have an envelope too, but I'm just not that organized. And I didn't want to use one of my pretty envelopes from Paper Source. They're like gold and shiny and tearing.
And like $6 a pop.
No, they're a great deal.
Mm.
Stationery is expensive. It's pretty expensive.
No, you can get 10 of the like 4x6 size, which is just big enough for the cards I make. I'm gonna stop now.
And everybody's name is please tweet us and let us know that was you so we can set up arrangements to do your query critique.
Because we actually do want to do them. We
Yeah.
just are busy.
Me too. I had a super good time during mine.
I had such
Yeah.
a good time. It was fantastic. We like good karma.
Yeah, we all
And we
talked
cannot
about
lie.
how we liked our critiques so much that we wanted to do them
It was
again.
really fun. Yes,
We
were
did.
happy.
Absolute shout out to Jody for my critique last time. She was really nice. She sent me a candy bar and it was so good.
Okay, candy's not required. Nobody feel
No,
obligated.
you don't.
Yeah. do not
Don't
send
do
me.
that.
Do not send me a half-open box of candy.
Ew. Don't send me
Valentine's Day leftovers.
No.
And my office freezer is full of sweets that I am trying not to eat. So I
As
can't
I
try
often-
them because they're amazing and they look
Took
like
such a turn.
I have no idea what's happening right now.
Okay, one more helpful thing. Can we? One more? Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes. One more thing that's helpful. Any more questions?
Oh. I got one for you here from Clarabelle, who I think I know from Twitter. She's saying she's
Clarabelle.
having a book signing at BookCon for a novella which is related to her work in progress, but not the actual book. She says she's going to be querying that book soon. Is it worth it to make any sort of contact with agents about the event, or just let them find out about it organically?
I would say if they're at the event, try to appeal to them on a personal level versus a look at my thing level. Especially since
Like
it's a novella.
to get them to go to the signing.
I would say if they're going to be at this event, try to make a point to be like, oh, hey, you're at this event. I heard you say this thing. This was awesome. Or go up and talk to them casually. Get in their system. Make it so that when they see your name again, they have a positive association with you. And then when you're ready to query, they'll be like, oh, yeah, Clarabelle, who is, by the way, awesome in real life. I've been lucky enough to meet her in real life.
It's true. We
In a
went
bar that
apple
looked like a
picking with
cave.
her.
Yes, and we would go apple picking.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I would say that that's probably your best bet because you want to have people have a positive association with you if you are not 100% ready to be sending your thing out.
That's solid advice right there. Solid.
I think a lot of agents tend to remember
picking
names.
and then literally walked away. Like she was gonna go apple picking right now.
It was apple picking. It was playing some apple picking music. She's just so popular. It was probably a client being like, Rosie,
I had an
you.
alarm set for 9 o'clock, and it went off.
Yeah.
So we know it's 9 o'clock.
It was like the cheesiest alarm ever. It's like,
It's okay.
How
But
did
we
it go?
would like Clarabelle even if she hadn't taken us apple picking.
It's true. We love Clarabelle anyway. Shout out to Clarabelle.
Woo! But see, Clarabelle did the right thing because she just is hanging out and being awesome versus
And
like,
being
I have
an
this
awesome
book.
agent.
I have this book. I have this book. Do you want to read my book? She's not like that at all.
No.
Yeah.
But also, I do want to read her book.
See, she's
There
right.
you go. The system works.
Gotta be cool, you guys. Gotta be cool.
Gotta be cool. Gotta be,
Can someone make
Kind.
a bulleted pointed
Gotta
list
be
of how to be
stronger.
cool? I think that'd be useful.
yes.
How to be cool.
I do not have any insight to offer to that list. I got nothing. I'm
Are we broken?
in a freaking
Is it working?
day.
Oh, I don't know.
We're all broken.
We're a little broken.
Are you kidding? Ted's got a koozie.
They do look happy.
They're all happy. That's good.
Savor the summer. It's right here. I think I made this
Boom.
gin and tonic a
Are we
little too
frozen in a really
strongly.
uncomfortable
It's all about that base. It's about that base.
Yeah, my water's got kicked.
This gin and tonic was way too strong for a Tuesday night. That's all I'm gonna say.
Koozie!
Koozie is in the building though. Koozie has held it down for the summer.
Oh God, we're such classy people. All right, is that it? Is that what's happening? Have we survived another episode of Pub Talk TV?
Yes.
Does
And we'll let you know
anybody
when
have
the
a closing
next
thoughts?
episode is.
Yes, after we converse, and then we'll tweet it. But does anybody have any closing thoughts? Jessica?
What?
Did she freeze, or did I just... Okay, Monica, how about you?
Keep conferencing. We'll be
Yay!
there.
It's really like they're playing a keyboard.
Yeah,
Like,
like a synthesizer.
yeah.
Are you okay though? Like, what happened, guys?
Maybe it is me.
What happened to you two? What the hell?
Are they frozen? I'm confused.
No, they're cracked out. They're talking about a keyboard and a synthesizer. I don't know what's
It
happening.
sounds like the chimes.
You know we're still on air, right? Okay, Ted, how about you?
I would just like to say thank you to the four of you for having me tonight. I would love to come back, not when Kelsey is unable to participate, but just to come back if I can be your Indiana correspondent, or I'm very honored to be the first
Ted.
male to be on Pub Talk TV. You know,
Yes.
'cause, like, we all know we don't get enough of the male perspective in the world. So I'm really happy to be able to bring that to Pub Talk TV. And, I hope you'll have me back at some point. But it's been a pleasure. And like I said, this drink was way too strong for a Tuesday night when I have to get up at like 6 a.m. and work tomorrow. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna sign off on in my koozie with my gin and tonic.
And we're back to
Thanks,
Ashley.
Ted.
So nice to have you, Ted. All right, I'm gonna try Rosie and Jessica again, guys. Do you have any closing thoughts? Jessica?
I think they're
It's 'cause I got up.
around.
Jessica and Rosie. Okay. Somehow
It's 'cause I got
On
up.
the third
here
path.
as leader. I don't understand.
She's on her phone. It's over. She's moved on to other things.
What?
I don't know how to
What?
sign off without her consent. This feels weird. I have too much power in a very strange way. So
Indiana Rising, Summer.
I don't-
Indiana Rising.
I'm not comfortable with this. All right, so I guess we're done for the night. Thank you everybody for watching, and we'll announce the date of our
Thanks,
next
everyone.
episode coming up soon. Thank you so much, Ted, for joining us tonight and filling in for Kelsey, and we hope Kelsey will be back with us next time, and we're hoping that she feels better. And thank you very much to Monica, Jessica, Rosie, and Ted for being with us tonight, and we'll see you next time, kids!
See you next
We
time.
love Kelsey.
We love Kelsey.
Bye.